The Joe Truth Conspiracy.
Hello on this Monday, July 30th, 2018 edition of the Joe D Conspiracy. I'm Jody George. The truth is not out there. The truth is here. Now we go to school. So, the other day someone's trying to tell me the UFC is jinxed. You know, every time they try to put together a great card, something goes wrong. The UFC is not cursed. People who say this do not understand the game. You know, MMA fighters, by the nature of the beast, are more prone to injuries during training than any other sport. These people are training multiple disciplines with the best in the world on a daily basis. Now, this makes it nearly impossible to escape a camp completely unscathed. There's always going to be a much higher probability for a mixed martial arts fighter to get a fight-canceling injury than someone training an isolated discipline for 8 weeks. People don't get this. I get this. But fighters pulling out last minute should not be occurring at the level that it's happening today. Something ridiculous like the Ferguson presser aside, you know, the heavy training in a camp should all be done by the last few weeks. I mean, you study for the bar exam for 4 months. You're not staying up till 4 a.m. the day before the test. There's absolutely nothing you're going to put in your brain that's going to put you in a better position to ace that exam. You train for a marathon for 6 months. If you could only run 15 miles by the last week, guess what? You're not going to have a respectable time. And if you kill yourself those last 7 days, it's doing nothing. The biggest culprit, in my mind, besides the overtraining towards the end of a camp, is going to be the weight cut. And yeah, you know what? The cut will always have some place in this sport. Because nobody can just magically stay at championship weight to the ounce. But fighters are coming into fight week weighing 20 to 25 pounds over what the division limit is. And they're doing this religiously. And that's after a full training camp. There is no way that weight cut can be safe. I don't care who you hire. I don't care how many doctors you have watching you. There's no way that you're cutting 20 to 25 pounds in the last week safely. And those last 12 hours can literally be life-threatening. And the problem is the promotions are enablers to unsafe weight cuts. And this is largely due to the business end of the sport. You know, promotions want the options. They want the options of fighters being able to fight at a moment's notice at different weight classes. I mean, you have fighters in the 155 division walking around at 185 pounds or more. I mean, that's nuts. Promotions have the power to change the safety of weight cutting. When a fighter signs a contract, before you put a pen in his hand, they take a physical to determine if the fighter has cut weight on that day. And if it's determined that the man is at his normal weight, man or woman, at their normal weight, you weigh them. And in order to sign the contract, the fighter cannot weigh more than one weight class above the division he's signing to compete in. So if you're fighting at 155 pounds, you can't come into the contract signing day weighing more than 170 pounds. And then all fighters are on the same playing field. You're a professional. You fight 155 pounds. Your job is to be ready to sign a contract to fight at that weight. Now, if you can't, then you're not a 155-pound fighter. Promotions would hate this because it would take too long to make certain fights. I mean, i.e. super fights. Imagine if you took an entire fight card and 2 weeks into the camps, you told them, for this card, every fighter that signed at 155 pounds can weigh 170 pounds. How many fighters do you think would weigh less than 170 pounds on the day of the fight? None. And imagine how incredible it would be to see two of the best fighters fighting without depleting by a weight cut. We get great fights as it is. If fighters have no choice but to fight in a division they've conditioned their body to naturally fight in, you get a safer sport, you get better fights, and you're gonna absolutely get less last-minute pullouts. And then on top of it, you're gonna have a larger pool of fighters for substitutions when you need them. And then, of course, the negative end, like I said before, to make a fight outside a fighter's division, a fighter's gonna need more time. Fighters have to be in shape by contract signing, not the fight date. I guarantee fighters are going to have a problem with that. Hold on a second. Let me get my tissue. You're a professional fighter. This is your job. You don't see Derek Jeter going and blowing up to 220 during the off season, and he's not even a fighter. Nobody monitors his weight. But he stays in playing shape, or used to stay in playing shape. I wish he was still in playing shape. This is Joe DeGeorge. Here endeth the lesson.